Hello and welcome to my review of Gore Halfhorn Beastman Bounty Hunter from Forge World. This model will cost you £18. It's a fair bit of money for like a single miniature, but when I show you all the detail and things, I think you'll agree that definitely a great looking model, and a lot of attention to detail has gone into this. So this model is actually for Necromunda. It's not for Warhammer 40,000 or Horus Heresy or anything like that. I've gone away and I've read some of the Necromunda Under Hive rulebook. It's a lovely book, really is. Very well done. I love everything about the gangs in there, and I really just can't wait for more gangs to come out. So we'll have a look at the model close up. And then I'll do some size comparisons with some 40k miniatures, and then I'll go through all the rules and things like I normally do in all my reviews. So this is the miniature itself. It's got this plasma pistol and like a sort of a Reaper chainsword, really, like a double-edged chainsword. There's a lot of attention to detail there with the grenades and the pouches and his fur. I don't know whether this is a new sort of fur technique that they're employing with their miniatures, or for Space Wolves. I know that they've got some Space Wolf Terminators coming out with kind of this similar-ish fur. It's Games Workshop, well, it's Forge World. Can't get away without putting a skull somewhere, so that is there. It comes on one of these city kind of bases. It's actually like a Necromunda base, just it's a plastic base, same bases as you get in the Necromunda set. He's got this dagger or stiletto kind of short knife. He's got like a water canteen, I think, another pouch. He's even got like a guard for his chainsaw too. He's got this shotgun, another kind of knife or stiletto, and a couple more pouches, another pouch there, a little bit of cloth, some piping that's sort of marked and scratched, so that when you paint it, it'll blend in nicely to the base. The plasma pistol is very funky looking. Kind of reminds me of like a super soaker or like a water pistol or something, rather than your typical sort of plasma pistol. It sort of just ends at the back. The only way of sort of knowing that it is a plasma pistol is to just look underneath it and see the coils or whatever it is, where the chamber where the gases sort of react. Then he's got another either long pistol or whatever there, and then he's got his horn that's obviously chopped off at one side, and then he's got a cigar. Games Workshop doing a few models with cigars right now. Sly Marbo is coming out very soon, and he also has a cigar. This Beastman has like an optical implant too, with some hair. So yeah, it is a little bit odd to try and get over the fact that it is a Beastman in kind of like human times in Warhammer 40,000. The way they sort of play it is he's kind of like a mutant from a strain of a species, and hence why he's like this. I want to see more of this. I really do. I'm bored of, the same old kind of aliens and humans and things like that. I want to see lots more different races and mutants and things like that. And if this is the platform to create them and bring them out, then so be it. I'll fully support it. But yeah, really impressed with this model. Really impressed with all the detail that it has. It's going to be a wonder to shade and paint and highlight. It's going to look really excellent on the Necromunda battlefield too. So I'll just show you some size comparisons, which may or may not surprise you. I can't do any size comparisons with the two gangs because I haven't built them yet, because I've been doing lots and lots of other things, lots of Tyrannid stuff and Astraeus stuff, but I can show you some size comparisons with some of the 40k range. So here's a normal Space Marine, so he does stand kind of head and shoulders above a standard Space Marine, so it just goes to show you just how much bigger he is for an £18 model. Next to a Primaris, I think they're similarly heighted, yeah, so there you go, similar sort of eye level there with a Primaris, and he is sort of standing on a pipe there too. So, and then finally, like a Genestealer, might as well just show you next to a Genestealer. So yeah, Genestealer is still pretty big though, considering. But yeah, I thought I'd just show you those size comparisons in lieu of any Necromunda ones. Now this is my part of the review where I will go through all the rules for Gore Halfhorn. You can get his rules and little backstory on Forge World's own website, but conveniently, in the little clam pack that you get with the model, you get a bit of a backstory there, something about hired guns, and then his data sheet here, which in the unboxing I wasn't too sure about leadership and things like that. I think that's the coolness factor, I think. So what we'll do is we'll go through all of this now. So to start off with, he will cost you 235 credits, but the credits are only used in the advanced rules. He's got a movement of 4 inches, which means he's going to be moving the same as one of your Goliath gangers, which means he's going to be slower than the Escher gangs. He's got a weapon skill of 3+ and a ballistic skill of 4+. The weapon skill is same as like a Goliath leader or an Escher leader at 3+, but his ballistic skill is actually worse at the 4+. His strength is a 4, which of course is the same as Goliath gang, but less than the Escher. And his toughness is 4, which again is the same as a Goliath gang, but and more than an Escher gang. He's got 2 wounds. Your champions and your leaders for both the other gangs have 2 wounds too. And his initiative, which measures the dexterity and reflexes, it's a 4+. He's got 1 attack, which is actually same as just the normal gangers. His leadership is a 5+, which again is as similar to the leadership of the other gang leaders. His willpower, which measures the mental fortitude, is 6+. Which is the same as like an Escher gang leader, and obviously better than the Goliath gang leader. And his intelligence is also a 6+, which is again lower than both the Escher and Goliath gang leaders. He's armed with a chainsword, a plasma pistol, and a shotgun. His skills are Berserker, Bull Charge, and Fearsome. And he also wears flak armour. Now his chainsword, which isn't covered in the main rules book, has a range of long, which means if the target is within long range, the weapon can make attacks against them. The accuracy, we've got a +1 for long, so that means that that's a good modifier for attacking long. And the strength is S, which is what I would have thought is just strength 4. It doesn't really explain a little bit more about that. It does have AP -1, damage of 1, and the traits are melee and parry. Flak armour gives him these 6+ save and increase to 5+ in advanced rules against a blast marker. And obviously the AP -1 means that the results for any of the save rolls against that weapon's attacks are reduced by 1. So that's pretty good. Parry basically means that after an enemy makes a close combat attack against a firearm with a parry weapon, the fighter can force the attacking player to re-roll 1 successful hit. If the fighter is armed with 2 parry weapons, then they can force the attacking player to re-roll 2 successful hits instead. So that chainsword with the parry, you can use that weapon in melee obviously, and then with the parry, you can force that successful hit to be re-rolled. The plasma pistol has a 6-inch short range and a 12-inch long range on both the low and max settings. Your accuracy, you're getting a +2 modifier on low if attacking on short range, but nothing for long range. And on max, you're only getting a +1. But on the max setting, you're getting a strength of 7, but on the low setting, you're getting a strength of 5. The AP is -2 though for max, and AP is -1 for low. The armour penetration is a 5+ on both of those. Pistol, scarce and unstable. A couple of the traits for the plasma pistol. It's got scarce, which means ammunition is hard to come by and they can't be reloaded. Once they run out of ammo, they can't be used again during the battle. And then when he fires it on the max setting, it also becomes unstable, which means if the ammo symbol is rolled on the firepower dice when attacking with the weapon, there's a chance the weapon will overheat in addition to needing an ammo check. Roll a d6. On a 1, 2, 3, the weapon suffers a catastrophic overload and the attack is taken out of action, but the attack is still resolved against the target. Okay. And then the shotgun, you've got a couple of firing modes. You've got short and long. So short, so you've got solid shot and a scatter shot. For the solid shot, the range for short is 8 inches. For long, it's 16. The accuracy, you get a +1 for short. Its strength is 4. Its damage is only 2. And its ammo is 4+, and it does have the rule knockback. Now, knockback does have a few kind of rules to it. Basically, if the hit roll for the weapon with knockback trait is equal to or higher than the target's strength, before any modifiers, they immediately move 1 inch directly away from the attacking fighter. If the fighter cannot be moved the full 1 inch because of the wall, they move as far back as possible and the attack's damage is increased by 1. So that's pretty cool that your damage is going to be, you know, 3 possibly, and the fact that it's knocking back an enemy by an extra 1 inch. The scatter weapon profile, the short range is 4 inches and the long range is 8 inches. Its accuracy gets a +2 for the short range. Strength is only 2, damage is only 1. Again, ammo is 4+, but it does gain the scatter shot rule. Now the scatter shot means that you make D6 wound rolls instead of 1. So that's pretty horrific that it can be using that scatter shot and getting more than that. You can get a possible 6 wounds instead of that 1. So that's awesome too. We mentioned about the war gear, the flak armor, but the skills, Berserker, Bull Charge and Fearsome. Berserker, I don't know what that one is because it's not in the main rulebook, so I'm wondering whether it's in the other supplement, or if someone can help me out and put it in the comments, I'd be greatly appreciated. But Bull Charge and Fearsome are both Goliath skills. Bull Charge means that when the fighter makes attacks as part of a charge action, any melee weapons they use gain the knockback trait and are resolved at +1 strength. So that's awesome. So you're getting that -1 inch knocking them back, and at the strength of 5. Fearsome means that if an enemy makes a charge action against the target, then they must make a cool check before moving, and if the check is failed they can't move and their action ends immediately. So just because they're fearsome means that, you know, the enemy might not be able to charge them after all. That's my little luck. I still need to read up on the Necromunda rulebook a bit more. Like I said, if you know what Berserker is, please put it in the comments. That'll help me out and everyone else. I think it's a great looking model, just from a model point of view really, rather than a bounty hunter. There are more bounty hunters planned from Forge World 2, which obviously will look great on the boards and with these gangs. I can't wait to see all the gangs once they've released them all. Hopefully, again, there'll be bigger units, and hopefully they'll release rules so that you can sort of use them as part of like an Inquisition force or something like that, or use them in 40k too. That'd be great. But anyway, that is the end of my review of Gore Halfhorn. Like I say, tremendous looking model. If you have him and you've already used him in Necromunda, please do share your feedback in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.